Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and it's time to go into Ouyen, where Redcliffe's cricket is back up and running, and the Ouyen Rams, the current champions of that competition, are back in action, or have been back in action. And joining me on the line to talk all about it is their president, Dom Leach. Dom, great to have you with us again. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Alice. Great to be with you, and looking forward to unpacking what was a big week of cricket last week.
It was a big week of cricket, and it's been a big week on the agriculture front too, with National Agriculture Day, which is today, Dom, by the way. How are you celebrating it? I know you've done a bit of karting to and from town throughout the week. How are you feeling?
Yeah, celebrating by doing much the same as we have every other day for the last week or two. Getting stuck in the harvest. Running in and out of town, carting grain, and everything's going well so far, which is just pleasing.
Perfect. All right, well, let's stick to the cricket for now. Let's go back to last weekend. Unfortunately, the B graders had their game cancelled, so I guess it's a double-edged sword. They get the points, Dom, but not the cricket in the legs. But let's focus on the A grade, a massive, massive win against Millawa by 140 runs in the end. The boys would have been stoked with this one.
They were. It was a big win. It was great to see some blokes finally finding some form and get some runs. We had a couple of fantastic knocks. Dan Price got 90 and Alex Morris 96. Unfortunately, both falling just shy of the three figures, which would have been fantastic. But nonetheless, as I said, great knocks. And Trav Parsons chipped in with 50 himself. So compiling 7 for 312 was a great effort off the 40 overs, and was always going to prove tough chasing. Miller did make a good fist of it. They faced out their 40 overs. They made 9 for 172 with Jeremy Hayworth top scoring with 79 himself. So it was a bit of a run fest, but a great win, and good to see some boys hitting some form.
Are the reigning champions back to their best, Dom?
Oh, look, it's hard to say. I mean, hopefully it's an indication that, where things are going along nicely. I think you never want to get too far ahead of ourselves. It's still fairly early in the season, and a lot of water to go under the bridge as such. But look, winning form's good form, and that's all you can do, beat whoever you're up against on the day, and they did that last week. So hopefully look to do that again this week against a strong Robinvale side.
And I dare say you had a pretty strong set of home supporters, Dom, because of the fact that the B-grade game was cancelled.
Yeah, so we did there was a few more supporters made the trip up the highway, which was good. As I said, the Millerwood deck was great. All reports it played really true in the fast outfield, which led to the high score, which proved to be a great day of cricket.
All right, let's look at the other game in the A grade on the weekend, Dom. How'd that one go?
This was a really good game, and runs were on the cards here too. Tommy Lister, he got 93 not out, guiding his team to a first innings total of 5 of 161, which you would have thought might have been good enough. However, Tempe had other ideas. They chased it down in just 35 overs, losing just 5 wickets themselves. So Nick Monaghan, 36, and Jack O'Shaughnessy, 27, were the main contributors for the Tigers, which is a great win on the road. Gets them back in form, and it means that we'll have to front up against a bit of a sporting Robinvale this week after going down on the home deck last week.
All right, well, before we get into taking a look at this weekend's games, let's just focus in on the B grade. The other result there, Dom, what was the case there in the B grade in the absence of the Ouyen Rams?
Yeah, so the other results, we had one game which was probably dominated by the ball and one which was dominated by the bat. We had Fire Brigade rolled for just 86, with Ifas Abden taking 4 for 9. And Nursery Ridge got those runs 5 down. But the highlight was probably the other game. We had Curler posting a massive score of 2 for 256 off their 35 overs, which was mainly contributed to by Jack Baird, who scored 187 runs himself, which is no mean feat. That's a fantastic innings, and he even backed it up, chipping in with a couple of wickets with the ball. So he's had an absolute day out. and the runs, of course, proved a bit too much for the other boys, and they, I think, can only scrap 140 odd. So a big win to Kerwa, and a great knock by Jack Baird.
All right, well, sticking to the A-grade Ouyen Rams side of things for this weekend, are we back at Blackburn Park? What is the agenda this weekend, Dom?
Yeah, so the Rams are back at Blackburn Park. We take on Rombo in the A-grade, which, as I said, proved to be, I think it'll be a cracking game. Rombo will be sporting from the loss, but Tommy Lister got 90 last week. He's in good form. So is Jacob Lister. He's made runs the last few weeks, and they're always tough to beat. So that'll be a good fixture. Hopefully we can get a good crowd along. And the other game, we've got Millewa hosting Nursery Ridge. And this one could probably go either way. Perhaps Millewa, after putting in a good showing last week with 170 odd, might favour themselves perhaps against the Ridge boys.
All right, now to win a game on paper, does it actually do anything to the morale of the players there at the B grade, the playing squad there? Will they feel as though they're reinvigorated after getting that win, Dom, or is it a case of it was handed to us and we've got to put the work in again?
Yeah, I think probably the latter. I mean, the points are always nice to take. You would have fronted up yourself and had a crack, but ultimately you want to be playing cricket. We all do, and that's the goal. So I think this week it's a tough trip up the highway to play Kerwa. I have to curtail Jack Baird, stop him making another 180. But look, you've got to be in it to win it, and we'll front up this week and hopefully put in a good showing against an experienced opposition.
All right, before you just preview the other B-grade fixtures for us, is the old Dom Leach going to get a tap on the shoulder in a couple of weeks with that B-grade side being a little bit thin, perhaps?
Perhaps not in a couple of weeks. Hopefully post-Christmas I might be able to have a run. We'll wait and see how the knee's holding up. But, it won't be before Christmas anyway. But, look, they won't need me. As I mentioned, there's enough experience in that side now that they don't need my help to turn things around. I'm pretty confident that the blokes that are playing will be able to do that themselves.
All right, and just before we do let you go, just bring us in on those other fixtures in the B grade there, Dom, for this weekend.
Yeah, so the other fixtures, we've got Nursery Ridge hosting Southwest, and Tempe taking on Fire Brigade down at the Tempe Rec Reserve. So, as I mentioned, could go either way. Both those games, we've got a real mixed bag with form a bit this year. Home ground advantage usually means a bit, but this year we've seen plenty of teams win on the road. So tough to pick. I suppose you'd normally favour Tempe at home, but as I said, hasn't been the case always, and probably favour Southwest to get the job over Nursery Ridge despite having last week off.
Well, Dom, we wish you and the club all the very best for the fixtures this weekend. That is Dom Leach, President of the Ouyen Rams Cricket Club. All the best, Dom. Thanks for your time.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, mate.